So yeah, for you guys today, what we are doing is a serious topic proper podcast.
Okay.
So basically, no games and challenges, no food reviews. Today we're talking about, well, I have two questions about the airline Air India 171 plane crash. Yeah, the plane crash we're talking about. My main question is basically what happened
Okay.
and how I survived the plane. All that's going to come down today, what all the stuff that I found out, I researched, took me a few days to do, right? I'm trying to find out anything new that's happened. So we're going to talk all about that today. It started off, right? And it went to about 625 feet,
Okay.
right? And then it dropped,
Okay.
right? And it went into a medical school. So basically, it went up to about feet travel 2.5 kilometers.
That's how it got.
That's all the far it went.
Okay.
Stuff, right? But my one question, apart from how did it fall, but I'll get to that in a second. How did that one guy survive?
Who was it that survived? Where was he?
He was in the 11A seat.
So he was actually on the plane.
He was on the plane near the door.
Near
So
the
basically,
door.
when it landed, the door opened. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of the Noka Tower. I think I forgot. How you all doing? Hope you all doing well. After 2 weeks, I'm your host Naveed, and with me here today is my little brother called.
Ibrahim Ashraf.
Clean my hands, but it's been a bit sweaty. Now, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me.
After 2 weeks, we'll come to that back in a second. So yeah, for you guys today, what we are doing is a serious topic proper podcast.
Okay.
So basically, no games and challenges, no food reviews. Today we're talking about, well, I have two questions about the airline Air India 171 plane crash.
Okay. No, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, you probably been asleep somewhere.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Obviously, you've been working and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, the plane crash we're talking about. My main question is basically what happened.
Okay.
That guy survived the plane.
Okay.
bleep bleep. Right? All that's going to come down today, what all the stuff that I found out, I researched, took me a few days to do, right? I'm trying to find out anything new that's happened. So we're going to talk all about that today. But before we do talk about it, I've got a couple of things to say. First things first, I'm learned a new thing, by the way, how to say subscribe. I say subscribe, then you say subscribe. Let's see how
Okay.
long it lasts, yeah? Subscribe.
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 To them. Subscribe.
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 That's it. No, that's quite. It just comes in my head. So
Okay.
anyway, before we do,
Do what? Subscribe.
no, tell me one thing. How's work?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. Considering I've not worked for 3 weeks, almost 4
No,
weeks.
oh, you haven't worked, have you?
No, I haven't.
And
Back to work tomorrow, hopefully.
where were we for the last? You looking forward for it? Looking forward for working?
No, really, no, because I know for about 3-4 weeks and it'd be kind of nice.
It kind of a little bit of a break. I think you'll get a bit of lost in the way and all that. a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, where have we been for the last 2 weeks? Basically, no videos at all. Last week it was, wasn't it? 2
Yeah.
weeks ago, last week we ordered. Where were we?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay, basically we were busy at home and stuff like that, right?
Mhm.
Family a little bit issues. Also, noticed something different in the room.
Yeah, this thing here.
This thing here. How did it notice that? What this is this. Akib's picture is flying away because the fan's on.
Okay.
So basically, if you guys want to, obviously free promotion for my nephew that's fighting on the 5th of July, right? In AO Arena, Manchester, and the tickets are all that almost sold out. If you do want to freeze this right now, zoom in and find out and get some of your tickets. Only if we're going to be on there till I think July, a couple of weeks. Then I'll keep that there for you guys to order your tickets and all that. Free promotion. I thought I've seen that. I thought let's just.
Yeah.
It's nephew, innit? Anybody
Yeah,
else,
so
I wouldn't have done it if it was anybody else. Is my
it's
nephew?
always the one you love, eh?
Huh?
Always the one you love, you do things for.
What are you trying to say? I care for all of them, okay? Okay, let's get to the topic, because it's a bit of a serious topic, and obviously no joking around.
Okay.
Plane crash. The Air India flight 171, right? It crashed, basically it set off, right?
Mhm.
Is that annoying you now?
No.
It set off from the runway, right? A certain speed. I'll tell you what speed, how far it travels and everything, right? First things first, what should you say on it?
Mustn't have read the kalma.
Okay, it's India flight. It's India flight.
That's my point.
No.
I don't know, to be honest.
There was I think there were some Muslims in that. I'm not 100% sure, but there were from people from the UK,
Mm-hmm.
people from India. They were going to obviously the UK for the first time.
Oh, right, so the flight was coming to England.
Yeah,
Okay.
he didn't even know that.
I didn't know. I've not even heard of it. I've not even heard
From
about it.
Ahmedabad right, from India.
Ahmedabad.
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 Something
Okay.
like that. I can't get it right.
So Ahmedabad.
It could be. And
It's
anyway,
not
if you
Ahmedabad.
just think it-
Ahmedabad in Pakistan.
I know. Anyway, from there, it was 8-hour flight, I think it was, right? Flying direct to Gatwick.
Gatwick.
Gatwick,
Okay.
right? Straight to there. But obviously, it only flew so high, and then it fell.
Okay. Well, it's obviously not gone straight here, then, has it?
No, man, is no joking. Seriously, right? It's serious top of this, right? Basically, right, it started off,
Mm-hmm.
right? And it got to about 625 feet,
Okay.
right? And then it dropped,
Okay.
right? And it went into a medical school. So basically, it went up to about how far did it go? 612 feet, traveled 2.5 kilometers.
That's all it got.
That's all the far it went
Okay.
from the airplane, from the airport, right? It flew, right? That's it. Ahmedabad, that's what it's called, right?
Okay.
To London. We had a full tank of fuel in it, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it was going long run, and it went to 612 feet, and flew about 30 seconds.
Right.
That's it, and then it just bang! It fell on the medical school in there. Horrible crash. Obviously, you feel really sad for the
Families,
family
yeah.
and all that kind of stuff, right? But my one question, apart from how did it fall, right, I'll get to that in a second. How did that one guy survive?
Who was it that survived? Where was he?
He was in the 11A seat.
So he was actually on the plane.
He was on the plane near the door.
near
So
the
basically,
door,
when it landed, the door opened.
and he fell out.
No, he walked out, basically, right? And he struggled himself through. The building was about 4 or 5 feet tall. Not
Okay.
5 feet tall. I mean, floors,
Mhm.
right? So when it crashed, it was 2 floors then. So obviously they blew up, and then fire came from behind. The tail
Okay.
came off it as well. Fire came because it was a full tank, and he must have seen the fire and jumped out.
Okay. Okay.
Because they showed an AI version of this.
Mhm.
You can see all the bodies getting burnt,
Wow.
right? Obviously, AI is just it's not real, is it? It's just it's made up.
Yeah.
So this guy just jumps out, seeing his death coming towards him, jumps out and lands in on this building and calls himself out. And he comes out eventually with
Mhm.
three scratches on his face and basically he hurt his arm.
Yeah.
Right?
Very
That's
lucky.
that's how he got out of there.
Must do the kalma before they set off.
But they're all Indians. But the other thing was, right, I thought first he's not on the plane. It was all
Okay.
fake, right?
Okay.
Because if you survive that kind of plane, you're gonna really get a big massive claim. But then obviously they gotta prove that he's on the flight, which
Yeah,
they
but
did.
He must have a boarding ticket.
No,
Yeah.
they found that after,
Yeah.
but that could be anybody.
No, we must have a boarding
No,
ticket.
what I'm trying to say, right? He come out with no bag, no luggage, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Right? He jumped straight out.
Well, he couldn't come out with luggage. His luggage
No,
was burnt.
listen. What I'm trying to say, right? How can they prove that's him? But they did prove it, obviously,
Yeah.
right? And obviously you have ID, and they can search him up and all that if he's on the plane and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff, right?
yeah.
So it is me. At first, I didn't thought, no, he's not going to be him. But then I thought, he probably just wanted a big claim out of all that. But now that he's survived, each families that have lost a family
Loved
member,
ones. Yeah.
they're getting 85,000, basically 1 point something crores
Okay.
rupees, right? But this person don't know how much he's going to get. That's what each
He's
family's
obviously going to
getting.
get less because he didn't die.
No, he'll get more because he's
No.
going to claim. He's alive.
No, but exactly. So if somebody's lost
He
their
could get
life,
less, yeah, he
if
could get less.
somebody's died,
Hmm.
and that's what people are getting because their loved ones have died, and obviously they're the providers of the family.
Yeah.
So obviously this provider of the family is still alive, so he can still carry on providing.
Yes,
he's obviously gonna
that
get
is
less.
that is a point, right? But what I'm trying to
So-
say, the people that have an accident, they claim like mad, don't they?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. What we're
Yeah.
saying. So they're going to pay out 242 people that are on the plane, families, and obviously there were 270 something because that's what people. They were all having their dinner
Okay.
and when it crashed the building. So obviously you could see the plane coming, right? So these people obviously are dead. Now it's 270, but it's 242 people that were on the plane itself, right?
Okay.
And there are two black boxes, right? When they record.
Yeah, they have two black boxes in
right?
planes. Yeah.
One's for the pilots, whatever they say,
Mm-hmm.
and the other one is for basically the wings, the technical stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, one's
So-
obviously the voice and stuff and all that
Yeah.
goes on,
They've-
and then the other one is all the technical side. Yeah.
Yeah, they've not found the voice one yet, right? But they found the technical one,
Okay.
right? And it's going to take about 30 days for them to find out exactly.
Yeah, they have to read
what
into it and everything. Yeah.
Right. And a lot of people say that, the wings
Mm-hmm.
didn't open properly.
Okay.
And when that happens, the little thing comes out the bottom. I don't know what it's called. It's like a fan, right? That makes a lot of noise. Just for people around that it's going to crash.
Okay.
right? They had to release that, and the reason why it didn't open properly is because they were jammed or something like that, right? This is what I've been heard. I'm not saying this is from me, right? And they were jammed. But even if basically they open, like there's the wing, right? The front and the back open a little bit,
Yeah.
right? And that makes it fly with a good amount of speed.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one did it open, it was able to fly at 400 and something kilometers, right?
Okay.
But it only did 320 kilometers.
So it's set off and
And
it
it's
really,
set off.
it's set off, but it's set off slow.
It's sort of a bit slow, but he didn't mean to. But it just, I think maybe he didn't have enough. Maybe it was hot or something.
Not enough power, not enough
It could be
speed
not
behind
enough
him or
power.
something.
The
Yeah.
engine didn't blow because the person that survived, he goes, the engines weren't loud enough because when they blow, they go louder.
Okay.
Right? They
I
didn't blow.
don't know. I've never been in plane
I'm
crash.
just
So I
going off
won't know.
what I've heard.
Yeah.
Right, and neither do I know, but I'm just going to what I heard,
Mhm.
right? So that's what they've said, that guy, right? So basically, the engine didn't blow, and what he heard,
Yeah, because the fire obviously would have been from the explosion of the fuel.
yeah, when it landed, yeah,
Yeah.
that's when it all blew up because of
yeah,
that.
because of all
Straight
the fuel
away,
and everything. Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna put a few pictures up towards the end of you guys of the tail and a few little bits and
Mhm.
bats, right? You can watch the video later. You can find
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah.
You don't know what this is. So basically, that's what happened, and because he was traveling at so slow speed,
Mm-hmm.
he couldn't pick up any more speed because the wings weren't moving.
Okay, okay.
Right? They couldn't do the job properly, and he had to land somewhere, and he couldn't even turn back because it was too low.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up crashing.
Wow.
So that's exactly what happened. That's what people are told. That's what I've heard, and that's the end of today's podcast. I want to get him. Anyway, a little bit more. Yeah, it traveled about 322 kilometers, right, per hour. But it should have. He can still fly with that, with the wings not opening, but 450 speed limit.
yeah, okay. Speed needs to
Because
go.
he's doing 320, he couldn't do it, and he couldn't even turn around.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he had to.
Because he was in the air, he couldn't have speeded up a bit more. Or
He
anything,
couldn't
so
speed
yeah,
up. No,
yeah,
he couldn't
so
speed up because that's
he was
why.
kind of stuck in the middle.
Exactly. So basically, some people say either the wings didn't open properly, because when you looked at the pictures and the flight going right,
Mhm.
they weren't in the right correct space. Everyone's talking about that. Are you falling asleep?
No, I'm just thinking,
So the wings.
how hard, because it's just all this technical stuff that, the way they know everything, and it's like, they go to the extent of, every little detail. They know what's happening, what's going on, why is it going on, why is it happening, what they could have done to fix it, what they could have done that, it wouldn't have happened, and, it's just,
Yeah, but for them to do all that, they have to lose some lives, which is sad.
yeah, true.
Right? Some people saying the wings didn't open properly. Some people say the pilot got distracted. I said 30 seconds. That's all. That's not possible.
Probably asleep, haven't you?
Yeah, it could be like you.
Mm.
Or the engine failure. But the engine failure couldn't fail because the guy said it didn't fail.
But he might have not. Obviously, his judgment is everyone's judgment is different. It's like something loud to you doesn't necessarily mean it's loud to me.
Yeah, that's true as well. It could be that, or you're not a mechanic, basically, or you don't know much about engines.
Maybe he had some headphones on, listening to music or something, and didn't hear it or whatever.
In 30 seconds, yeah, I suppose you could.
Yeah.
Right, and also, there's no birds in the area for the something to go into the plane.
Into the plane. Yeah.
So the question
well,
is,
they would have seen that. They would have noticed
yeah,
that anyway.
the question is, why did it fall? It comes down to notifications. It comes down to the speed and the wings not opening properly. If he was doing 450, then it could have.
Yeah. But there's obviously a reason why. Because surely he would have been an experienced pilot.
Yeah.
They don't stick a cowboy pilot on planes.
No, this guy has been doing it for years.
That's what I mean.
20, 30 years, something
and
like that.
obviously, if there is someone that's only got a few years' experience, they will make sure they've got somebody that's another pilot that's got
To back him up.
back him up. That's got a lot of experience, So
Yeah, this survivor. Oh no, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna talking about the pilot. The survivor. At first, he said he claimed he jumped from 600 feet. The plane flew 600 feet because 600 feet, right, is technically a quarter size of Burj Khalifa. 50
Okay.
floors.
okay.
There's no way you can
Burj
jump from
Khalifa, not Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa, yeah.
Burj Khalifa.
No, it's Burj. It's Burj.
It's Burj.
It's Burj.
Burj Khalifa.
Comment below, guys.
Burj Khalifa.
It's Burj Khalifa.
Burj Khalifa.
Okay, fine. It's Burj Khalifa to my eyes. Yeah.
So if I prove it,
Prove it now then. We'll do that at the end. Let's just finish this off. Okay, fine. Let's do it now then. Burj Khalifa, not Burj Khalifa. What you say? It's not a bit of a comedy, mate. We can't help it sometimes. Off topic here.
The Burj Khalifa, how is it pronounced?
It's pronounced as Burj Khalifa.
He's
The
saying it
Burj
wrong.
part, some-
She's saying it wrong. It's Burj Khalifa.
Is it Burj Khalifa or Burj Khalifa?
It's pronounced Burj Khalifa.
That's not
The
true.
bird-
That's not true. Because I watching on YouTube and they all say Burj Khalifa. Okay, fine. Let's keep it at Burj Khalifa, right? Burj Khalifa. Anyway,
He doesn't like it, but he's wrong.
no, you don't. I accept
I know
it.
I'm right though.
I accept it. You don't accept it.
I've just proven it.
Okay, fine. Whatever, right?
So what is it?
Burj Khalifa.
Yes.
Burj Khalifa. It's spelled B-U-R,
It
not
can be spelled
B-E-R.
however it wants.
Okay. Guys, comment
Okay,
below.
okay. N-A-V-E-D. What does that say?
Navid.
N-A-V-I-D. What does that say?
Navid. So what does that come to?
N-A-V-E-A-D.
E-A-A-D. I don't know.
Naveed. It's
No,
all the same.
It's not all the same.
It is.
Navid or Navid is this one different. Okay, forget that. Okay, well let's get to this thingy, the whole thing.
Okay, W-R-I-T-H-I. W-R-I-G-H-T.
W-R.
I-G-H-T.
Wait.
W-R-I-G-H-T.
Oh, right.
R-I-G-H-T.
R-I-G-H-T. Right, as in turning right.
But
Right, that's
we're
right.
not
as
talking
in-
about what it is. How do you say it? We're talking. Just pronounce.
Oh, right. Both right. Yeah,
Exactly.
they're not wrong. So anyway, the whole moral story of all this situation, right, was basically how the aeroplane crashed. What people have said, they're not found out the truth yet. They'll find out through the black box. And that will take about 30 days to find out, right? And on the camera, you look like you just sat down.
Now I'm chilling.
Oh, sit opposite. People have complained about
Ah.
after all that.
No, I'm tired today. I'm actually tired
Your
today.
face is all dirty. So.
I woke up early and stuff, and
You've been
past few days
tired
been
because obviously
stressful.
you've been a lot of.
past few
Stressed
days
out.
been very stressful. Yeah.
So whoever's stressing him out, right? Stop. It's simple. So anyway, back to the plane crash, right? Obviously, it's sad what's happened, right? And they're all claiming it is the wings, not speed and all that. They found out how fast it was going, how far it traveled, where it landed, how many people have died, where it all blew up from, everything. But exactly what the truth is, right? Like exactly what fault would have happened to the engine, they find out in 30
Yeah,
days.
yeah. Obviously, because the black boxes take a bit of time for them to analyze everything. Yeah.
So basically, they're going to find out if it's a technical fault
Yeah.
or
yeah.
not.
Because
right?
obviously the black boxes, I don't know whether people know this or not. The way they work is it tells you, like for instance, a car. Yeah. Just say if you got a black box in a car, it'll tell you.
Computer stuff.
It'll tell you how much accelerations getting pressed, what the revs are sat at, what speeds it's sat at, how much brakes getting pressed, how much acceleration is getting pressed, what gear it's in, if the handbrake's up, how much the handbrakes is up, how much the steering wheel turned. It tells you basically everything.
That's why they have the
Yeah,
box
that's
there,
what
right?
the back box is basically.
Yeah,
of the
technical stuff basically.
plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at
And
the
then from all that they can work out everything.
yeah, so we'll find out everything and we'll let you guys know as soon as possible. But my last few words on this the whole topic, right, is was it a technical fault, right? Will this airlines ever be trusted again? Or will we find out very soon through the black box or not? Basically, will they hide it? Because if they we found out it's a technical fault, just say we find out it's a technical fault, no one's going to use the airlines again.
No, but that's why it depends on who's involved, who's actually doing the investigation.
Yeah, so basically they will find out who else exactly has happened, right? And all comes down to will this airline be trusted again?
It's basically, I think personally, obviously I don't know nothing about it, but I think the way it will work is, first of all, the airline will do the investigation. The airline will give their conclusion.
Yeah.
Then if the conclusion is believable, that's what's happened.
You see,
If the airline was the conclusion isn't believable, then somebody else will get involved.
so what happens
and
if they
will
find
do
what happens if
the
they find out it
investigation.
was a technical fault and it was Air India? No,
that was at fault?
Yeah.
Well, then obviously they'll have rules and regulations, like, right, either if there's a possibility that that same issue can be with any of more of their airplanes, they'll say, right, your airlines cannot come into our countries up until all airlines have been checked, like they did with PIA.
1 second.
Yeah, like they've done with PIA.
Okay.
You know, that's what they'll do. So they'll basically say to, right, your airlines cannot come to our countries up until, you know, every single plane that you have been checked.
Yeah.
Then they can come into our airlines. That's if it's a
PI's
fault.
PI's been shut down, isn't it?
No, it's still running.
Not only local they are, but not like.
No, it's going to a lot of countries, just not coming to Europe.
I think they started to London. I'm not 100% sure.
No, they're not. They're not coming. They're talking about letting them come, but they're
Yeah.
not coming. They're not
This
opening up yet.
India Airlines, right? You know this 11A, right? The seat, right, where the guy was sat near the door, right? Apparently, there's been another story where similar, basically, it was an accident, not similar crash, but it was an accident on the plane, right? And this guy survived because he was sat in 11A. Now that seat's going to become very expensive.
Yeah, true, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is our take on it, right? What we think, what I've heard and everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if you like this kind of unsolved mysteries, we'll do a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
We will come back to this in the 30 days or when as soon as to find out some
Soon
more.
as we
about
find
it.
the conclusion, I'm sure we'll let you
We'll
know.
definitely let you know. Enjoy the pictures. Well, don't enjoy the pictures. I mean, have a look at the pictures at the end. And before we go, as always, in last words.
Yeah, if you do like our challenges, you do like our stupid little things that we do, and obviously serious conversations
He's
like
come
we just
serious
have.
now. He's come serious
Yeah.
now.
Obviously, a serious thing, so
Yeah.
it has to be serious. Then do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and do not forget the
Bell icon. Every time I upload, you get notified. And yes, when I asked him right at the beginning, what do you think of this accident? What do you say? About the kalma.
yes,
But that just means basically, as a Muslim, we have to say before we obviously pass away.
yeah,
But he wasn't serious then. He's serious now.
yeah. Obviously, no, obviously, the kalma is it's an oath. You know,
Yeah.
for people that don't know, it's basically is there is no God but God, and meaning that
Basically, it's
there's no
supposed to be-
other gods. There's just the one God.
Okay, listen.
And
Before you carry on, right? The whole point of that is so that when you die, that's the last thing on your word.
yes, and it's a belief as well. You know?
Yeah. So anyway,
It's-
that's all
it's one of them,
that
yeah.
comes into
La-
politics and religion, which obviously
Last
don't
thing that you
go
do
into.
before you pass away, and also you live by it, you die by it, and you know it's
It's
basic-
just something we have
yeah.
to say before
Yeah.
you basically.
And
die.
also, obviously, another
last
thing
words
is
kind of
whatever you do in life, you try and do it in the name of God. You know, in that way.
Yeah, everyone obviously that believes
Yes.
obviously is that right.
Yeah.
So anyway, basically, you said your last words.
I certainly have.
And if you guys like this kind of topic and like all the food reviews that we do, I know we haven't been uploaded for the past 2 weeks. Busy with the family. Everybody does be family. And yes, from now on, we're going to do 2 videos a week.
Okay.
You promise that. If we can film it into one day, we will. If not, we'll do 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
What we do next week?
I have no idea.
And if you like this kind of mystery, we'll do some more.
I
Go on, what we do?
don't know.
Neither do I.
I'm sure we'll find out.
We'll definitely find out. As you guys know, it's a podcast to make you guys laugh. This one was just supposed to be only a podcast.
It's a bit of a serious talk.
Bit of a serious talk, yeah. That's why it's sat like that as well.
Mhm.
And I'm not. I can't sit like that. My belly comes away. Anyway, no more chit-chatting. I think that's enough for now because it's been over 20 minutes. I'm going to edit the video as well.
Mhm.
So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
And your socks is upside down, I just realised.
No, it's not upside down.
It is.
Oh, okay, maybe it is.
A different colour socks as well.
Yeah.
Don't call it a different type of socks. So thank you very much for watching. And next week is going to be a food review or it's going to be a challenge. You'll find out next week.
Allah Hafiz.
And not bye for now. Just remember one more thing. Do get that.
Yes.
Get it basically. I'm
Don't
gonna-
forget the tickets. Any what's it called? Anyone wants to go? Anyone wants any tickets? Then obviously here's the numbers.
Last
we
few
will
left.
Take a picture and we will obviously stick you up as well.
Really?
Yes.
How do you know?
I'll take the picture. I'll get him to put it on.
I already got a picture of him. So guys, anyway, what's called? We've only a few more tickets left.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine on the 5th of July. It's free promotions because my nephew, our
Yes.
nephew, right? Otherwise, if it was somebody else sponsors, I will do it for you.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you for coming on. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of the No Cuts Hour. Bye for now.
Allah Hafiz.